Hey, this is Alex Groon discussing chapter 14, if I am correct, about some of the issues that we can have whenever we're speaking. And it's said to discuss several, but I thought instead of doing that, I would discuss one main issue that I find to be a very big problem. And that one issue is going to be stereotypes. Stereotyping people is something that I do a lot whenever I'm speaking, that's for sure. I stereotype, for the most part, specifically white girls at Starbucks, especially whenever I have funny conversations with my mom, because some of them can be very rude and other things like that. I mean, shoot, there was a situation with my cousin, but I'm not going to get too far into that because she works at Starbucks and that would take a whole lot of time. But stereotypes are basically, for the most part, just automatically assuming traits for a certain group of people. So, like, for example, white girls at Starbucks. I just stereotype and group them all together and assume that they all do the same thing and have the same type of personality. That is something that, for the most part, we should avoid whenever we are discussing anything with anybody. And so, the main thing that I helped or that I found helpful from the chapter is the low versus high context speeches, and whether you give a lot of context into what you're speaking of and give a lot of details about it, or whether you give low context and let the people find out the information for themselves and think about it. Another thing is masculinity and femininity. And remember who you're talking to and which specifically would be tailored more towards the gender of the person who you're talking to. And then you have individualism versus collectivism. So, individualism is the idea of supporting yourself and supporting yourself to make yourself better and greater, which is an idea that you primarily see in countries like America whenever you have capitalism about helping yourself and helping your family, compared to collectivism, which is sort of like communism in a way, to where you work for the greater good of everybody, not for your personal gain. And that would be something that you would see in a country like Russia. And so that pretty much is the information that I found pretty useful from the chapter.